Hi, everybody. I'm Diane Brady. I am here with will.i.am, the Renaissance man, musician, producer. Will, I want to talk about the formula, which just dropped. And of course, you had this terrific orchestral version yesterday at the Formula One in Miami. You pitched them on this program. So let's just start with that. Talk about this Global Artists in Residence program you pitched. And thanks for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me. I've been playing the F1 circuit since the first race in Singapore back in 2008. That was the first time I played the F1 circuit. And I really truly fell in love with the sport. I met Lewis back in 2007. And that was like, at the time, I didn't understand truly the depth of Formula One on the engineering side and just how the athlete, the driver, and the engineers worked so closely together, competing. I played pole position on the video game in the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah.
But falling in love with the sport, all the principles that make the sport happened post 2008, 9. And so playing all of these shows, flying to Azerbaijan, flying to, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Mexico, Austin, last year in Miami, I realized that, there's two things happening in the Formula One realm. That there's the race, obviously, and then there's the concerts that happen that rarely, probably never get broadcast around the world. There's like a local celebration. And then you have the third thing, which is the parties after the race. And so all this activity, I wanted to connect like a through line where like an album, a song, video, celebrating the sport, celebrating the engineers, celebrating the drivers. And that's the formula, the first installment for a year-long program.
This program, is it going to be you in collaboration with other artists? I know the formula is with Lil Wayne. You're essentially, in addition to being the sort of musical center here, you're also curating, are you not, other artists?
Yeah, so I have some special guests that are going to come throughout the year. I don't want to reveal them because they're, I don't want to lose the fizzle and punch when we reveal each artist as the artists come through. We have Lil Wayne kicking it off. I went to Prague to do the orchestral version. So for every song, there's about 3 to 4 orchestral versions of each record. And I'm going to start releasing the orchestral versions of the formula the next coming weeks. And that's going to end off the formula on the next song that will come out top of July with an amazing artist that we have featured on it. And that will take us all the way to the end of the year. Like these releases, songs, videos, art, merchandise. And it's really, really excited. I pitched this concept to Stefano at Harvard. So I went to Mexico.
Harvard. Why Harvard?
So we played Singapore, and then I went to Harvard Business School. I attend Harvard Business School, and then I have Harvard Business School gives you 3 days off. You can take 3 days off for your businesses. So I had a meeting in Mexico with Stefano, the CEO of F1, and then he and I were on a track. We did this track parade, and then I had this vision when I was on the track of this artist in residency concept, and then we planned to meet up at Harvard because he was speaking at Harvard while I was attending as a student last year.
This is the executive MBA program, or what were you doing at Harvard?
I'm a part of the OPM. Owners President's Management program at Harvard Business School. I went back last year. I was like, you know what? I've accomplished a lot in music. I'm starting my new company, FYI.AI, and I want to go back to college. I want to go to business school. I want to network with other business owners. I'm a founder of the company. put the company together, funded it, found the team, collaborated with my co-founder CTO Sunil. But I
Mm-hmm.
want to learn more. I want to network. So I went there, and I graduated in 2024. But while I was there last year, Stefano was speaking. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, let me. I just met with Stefano in Mexico. Let me go and pitch him this idea after his class. And so here we are. He loved the vision, gave me the green light to make it happen. And it's a great collaboration, a great partnership. Stefano is an amazing CEO. And I love the growth of F1 since he's been the F1 there. I mean, the CEO at F1.
It's interesting because I know you're going to be touring with the Black Eyed Peas again. This is your first solo album, I believe, in a decade. Is that right? The one that will come out in the
Yeah.
fall. And now
Yes.
you've got FYI.AI. When you think about the portfolio of will.i.am, what's the balance that you want to achieve? Because you also still are very much a technologist as well.
So the balance, I don't have to make music like I used to make music for business anymore. I don't know if I want to make music for business like I used to in the past.
Mm-hmm.
I'll still make music for therapy, letting out joys, letting out my excitement and concerns about the world. But as far as like, writing songs to compete from a business aspect, I did that the majority of all of my 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
And we did a really good job doing that. Black Eyed Peas as a family, we're always making music as a friendship and bond. But as far as what I want to do the rest of my life in business, it's FYI. It's solving problems with technology and putting teams together, because that work is synonymous with the work that I do philanthropically. Telling kids, teaching kids, encouraging kids, in inner cities that reflect the ones that I come from, to go down the path of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Apply yourself with these skill sets and solve tomorrow's problems. And if I'm not doing that, then that's kind of hypocritical, right? If I'm off doing things that don't reflect that, then I have to practice what I preach. And I really truly believe that that is the path that we inner city kids, um, should aim ourselves to do, and that is to solve our once and for all, be the ones that solve our own problems with today's amazing tools and technology.
Talk a little bit about FYI.ai. I think of it as sort of Web3. What's the vision there, and how is going to Harvard, has that helped to hone the vision?
Um, Going to Harvard, you can never learn enough. And so it's a humbling experience after having amazing success, ginormous success in music. You can't assume just because you had success in one realm that you're going to have success in another realm just because you were successful.
Mm-hmm.
That's an arrogant approach. So going to Harvard is like, one, I never thought in my life growing up that I would be able to go to Harvard. So now I'm there and achieving something that I never thought was possible when I was in junior high school and high school. And I'm going there to learn business after I had success in another business. And that's a humbling experience. And the professors are giving me the information, giving me perspective that I'm going to need, not now, but eventually. Um, and the students, my classmates, hearing from them their business hurdles and the things that they had to overcome. I have amazing classmates that have awesome companies. Um, and as I'm trying to start my company FYI to solve a problem that I see in music and all creatives, there has never been a communication platform made for creatives to run their business. We work off of WhatsApp.
Mm-hmm.
We work off of 5 tools just to do work. We need a Dropbox, a WeTransfer, a Messenger, email, calendar, and sometimes Zoom just to get work done. That means your conversations are happening in the comment section in a Dropbox file, or they're happening on email, but sometimes they're happening where you need to send a large file on WeTransfer on email, but then they're happening on text. Your workflow is all over the place. Your team communications is all over the place. Your IP is compromised. Your copyrights, your intellectual property, it's all compromised when your stuff is spread out all over the place. So we wanted to have a central tool with generative AI baked in the core of it, so you can focus your ideas with you and your team and supercharge your creativity and strategy with artificial intelligence. That's the whole vision of FYI.AI. The name of the company is what the product does. Focus your ideas with AI. FYI.AI.
You know, it's interesting when you think about let's get back to the Formula One, and is part of what attracts you to that, excuse me, the technology of it, or is it just the racing? I mean, because I think of the work you've done with Dean Kamen, a lot of about students and getting them basically entranced with technology and frankly making it as sexy as, music.
Yeah, so if you were to take all the engineers that are in the pit and all the work that's gone into making that car not only beautiful but aerodynamic, and all the strategy and configuration to have the weight distribution in a way to where it's lightning fast. That's a team, and then you have a fearless pilot that's driving that, risking their lives on a track.
Mm-hmm.
And I think about the adults that are doing that, and I see how beautiful that is with the kids, and how they're a mirror of what's happening in a professional setting, what the kids are doing in a learning setting at such a tender age, working with robotics.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's teamwork, it's co-opetition, and engineering at its basic with the robotics at the age the kids are, but then at its advance with what's happening in the pit with F1. It's like science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. If there was a sport or a realm in culture that is the perfect example and the metaphor of science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, it's F1.
And
You
now
have the
music.
art with the car, the beauty of the car, and I love cars. I love building them. I love doing concept cars. I built 6 cars in my life. Whenever I find some money to play with success for music, I go out and build a car. I've been doing that for the past 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
Just for me. It's like as a symbol of yay, as a symbol of like, let's do it. Let's make something where only one exists. In a world where there's abundance, we're swimming in abundance of information, swimming in abundance of access to things that people take for granted. Working with teams and building one-off concepts, that's luxury. And I always dreamt of doing that growing up, and seeing the kids working with these robots really reminds me of F1. And that's why I love F1 so much. It's like the best sport, collaborative, mind expansion sport there is.
So let me ask one other question, which is where do the Black Eyed Peas fit into this? I don't know if they're going to be involved in your F1, artists in residence, but since Fergie left, I know you've done, you've had Shakira, others come in. Is the Black Eyed Peas always going to be a part of your life as a performer, as a musician going forward?
Black Eyed Peas is my family. That's my pod. I don't want to get like dad joke and corny, but we're peas in a pod.
Mm-hmm.
We started off as 3, and while we were that trio, we always worked with female singers.
Yep.
From Kim Hill to Macy Gray to Estero to Debbie Nova to Fergie to Shakira. We always worked with now J. Ray Soul. We always worked with female singers, but at the core, the trio, the 3 amigos, is me, App, and Taboo, and we're family. We're brothers. we will always travel the world and sing the songs that people have selected to be the soundtracks to their lives. And it's a blessing. So you never abandon that. No matter how, you know, how big FYI gets, there's always going to be Black Eyed Peas tours. There's always going to be Black Eyed Peas music because that's therapy. It's what bonds me and my best friends, my stability, my rock, my anchor. And we keep each other down. We hold each other up, and we bro hugs all day.
I can't think of a better foundation for innovation than that. So thanks for joining us, Will, and good luck with your program. Look forward to seeing what comes next.
Thank you so much. Thanks for asking questions about FYI and my passion for the company. Thanks for asking questions on F1 and my passion for the sport, and the connection between all that stuff. I only like to do things that reflect, my purpose, and my purpose is the work that I do at I Am Angel. So F1 is like a mirror of that. FYI is like the purpose on why, um, and Black Eyed Peas is just the vehicle that got me out of the ghetto to go back to my neighborhood to take care of the people in my community. So
Great.
thank you.
Of course. Look forward to continuing the conversation. More great music to come. Thanks, Will.